Delusional characters is a somewhat fascinating topic in media. We all need a little Delulu in our lives, right? In anime, it's typically the protagonists who are always a little delusional, especially in shonen. It's typically someone who believes in themselves or believes in their strength or in their teammates in spite of all the odds. I guess hopeful is a characteristic that a lot of protagonists have. A lot of times you have the characters who are irrationally angry or who are irrationally courageous. There are also cool characters like Zenitsu. Full literally trains so hard that when Full falls asleep, Full turns into a menace. I haven't finished Demon Slayer or the new movie, but I'd actually consider Zenitsu a failure in this kind of category, just because I think there is so much you could have done with him, and the concept of being a coward but being strong and reliable when you're unconscious. Maybe they do in the end, but so far they just introduced that really cool concept and just didn't do anything with it except for have him fight. We don't even really see any of the characters comment on it either. Like, bro, do you realize you're asleep, right? Inosuke, are you seeing this? This fool is asleep. But probably the most delusional character and the most delusional fan base I've ever seen is Usopp and the One Piece community. I, for one, like Usopp. I'm not caught up all the way on One Piece. I'm on Fishman Island right now, but pre-time skip Usopp, that's the GOAT. I was always by that man's side. Even when he was fighting Luffy, I was on that boy Usopp's side. Don't touch my boat. He's really a dog. And when he was fighting them fools in the desert, talking about there comes a time in a man's life when he has to stand and fight. One of the coldest mess I've ever seen. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why I finally sat down and watched One Piece, because I saw like the manga panel of that scene. Dang, I didn't even realize that. I watched One Piece because of Usopp. But what's so fascinating about him is, although he's a coward, he's so insanely prideful. You have to be strong to be prideful. To stand up for something you believe in, to stand up against your captain, to not go back on your word, that's strength. But what happens when you should go back on your word? When you have to go back on your word? All of his friends are about to go and save Robin, but you said you weren't part of the team. So what's good? Enter the most controversial character in One Piece history. That fool the sniper. That fool Sogekinga. I don't know what is wrong with the One Piece community. To me, it's so obvious that Sogeking is Usopp. One, Fool snipes, Usopp snipes. Is Usopp as cool as Sogeking? No. Their noses are basically about the same length, same build. The voices, okay, fine. I see why there's that discrepancy, but you're actually crazy if you think those are two different people. It's clearly Usopp, and I'm pretty sure he maybe used like a gadget or something from Skypiea to change his voice or something. And it's one thing if y'all are delusional about it, okay? Like, y'all won't accept the truth, okay, fine. But what's stranger, well, I guess is more consistent with his character, but this fool Usopp swears that he's not Sogeking, all because he don't want to go back on his word. He said he wasn't going to go with y'all. He said he's not part of the crew, so we not coming to help. That's final. But oh, Sogeking comes to help, not Usopp. Okay, bruh. My theory about Sogeking kind of explains why he's so deliberate about rejecting the notion that he's Sogeking. Besides the whole Robin thing. We know this fool Usopp, so of course, he's a liar, he's a storyteller, whatever. He idealizes Sogeking as the better version of himself, his ideal self. Of course, his entire goal is to be a brave man of the sea and to be a capable and powerful teammate. He wants to help Luffy and everyone achieve their goal. His hope is that one day he will become Sogeking. So until that day comes, he rejects the idea that he is Sogeking. I theorize that at the end of One Piece, at the end of everything, this fool Usopp will don on the mask and will embrace the role as the king of the snipers, Sogekinga, and that's why he exists. But it all comes to a head at Thriller Bark, where Usopp proves himself as the best delusional character in fiction. Dog, this is literally the most dire situation I've ever seen the pirates in. This girl Perona comes up, one-shots the entire crew, or at least one-shots the entire crew that's there, with an intangible ability that if it makes contact with you, you're donezo. You have no morale left. That literally sounds like a JoJo character. They're cooked, right? How do you get away from that? And of course, Usopp comes up. Fool gets hit by the ability multiple times, but Fool still running around is the same. Why? Because the Fool claims he has no morale. Really, bruh? You have zero morale. You're already... Dude is depressed. Not only is Fool depressed, but he's max depressed. Like, hold on, folks, depression is real. If you're concerned that you have depression, just look at the acronym SIGGY CAPS. If you have at least 5 of these symptoms, plus depressed mood or anhedonia, for greater than 2 weeks? Don't play with me. You better go to the doctor right now. You may have major depressive disorder. And apparently, this fool Usopp is maxed out at all 8 of them. Fool not on no medication. I don't think Chopper prescribed him anything. I don't think Chopper put that boy in therapy. Fool is raw dogging life and is still being active, running around and laughing with his friends. That can honestly be very scary, which can mean they're sometimes hiding it. But I genuinely think this fool Usopp got that hopium, is really trying to see a better future. Actually, that's not even delusional to him. Now, he could probably use some help. I think an SSRI would be very beneficial for him. But the fact that he's not even lying in bed right now on the ship, that just shows he's doing a phenomenal job. But even in spite of all of that, dude starts getting the mess beat out of him. The big old teddy bear comes out and starts beating the dog mess out of him. Mink, mink, mink. Dog, got a big old fool on top of you like that. I don't know what I would do. Imagine. He's delusional for even taking this fight, honestly. Fool should have ran back to the ship and left his crew. Like all of them sleep, Luffy gone, bro, you're cooked, run. And now you have a gorilla beating down on your chest. And I'm pretty sure that teddy bear is stronger than a gorilla. Fools kept asking the question, could 100 dudes be one gorilla? And Usopp is doing one dude fighting one gorilla. And the gorilla is doing the Donkey Kong down B in Smash Bros, slapping down on his chest. The last man standing. And dude cries out, help me, help me. Who is about to come and save this fool?
あいつらを俺が助けようなんて荷が重すぎた。助けて狙撃キング教えてくれ。お前ならどうする。よくも私の魂を。なんでそのふざけた仮面は。
ふざけてなどいないさ。はじめまして。私の名はソゲキング。ふざ
けてんじゃねえか。どの辺が別人だ。それでよ。
Peak cinema. Peak, peak, peak. That's the coldest mess I've ever heard in One Piece. There's the top 3 coldest things ever said. Of course, 3, Usopp's speech. 2 is obviously when Luffy's about to fight the Foxy Pirates. And Usopp's telling Luffy all about the Fro. Talking about how the Fro will give you all this power. It will give you the most mystical punch. And therefore Luffy says,
行こうか、おっさん。
Honestly, a great delusional moment for Luffy and Usopp. So bonus points. But save me, Sogekinga. That was just so hype. Fool gives himself the entire power up and says, okay, Usopp can't do this. Let me go switch to Sogeking. Kablam. The mental fortitude. His hopium. Fool, his entire team is relying on him. And Fool can't lose, so he has to call Sogeking. He calls on the best sniper, the best person for the job. And Sogeking takes the dub. And that's honestly so real. Cause bro, life is just crazy. There's so much we have to deal with in this world. Our burdens can be so heavy. And a lot of times this mug feels impossible to carry alone. That's one of the reasons why we're social creatures, because we can't do this mess by ourselves. I'm a Christian, bro. All my problems and burdens, I can't handle this mess. I just get a mess to God. I know we talking about One Piece, blah, blah, blah. Relax. But that's what I do. I gotta share that weight. This fool, Usopp, said this is not a job for me, and literally gave it to Sogeking, someone who could carry the mess. And sometimes when it comes with huge stressors, people do indeed dissociate. My advice for real though, is you have to divide and conquer when it comes with stress. You might have all these things you need to accomplish in your life, but just focus on one step at a time. Don't try to juggle, because that will just make you feel overwhelmed. Now, if you got a gorilla on your chest, I mean, there's not much to compartmentalize. I mean, you could compartmentalize right hand and left hand, but then, you know, he got all the teeth. How many teeth do gorillas have? Okay, now I'm gassing it. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.